Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. It's the Industry Street. They carry on. Don't forget, you could join us on the Industry Street on YouTube, and you can, why don't you prescribe? But we're not talking about prescribing. We're talking about a story. I've known this guy. I know you keep saying, boy, Peter, you always saying you know these people. I do know these people. This guy, I know from West London. This guy is a club owner, or he became a club owner, a radio owner. One of the biggest sounds on the underground he was involved with. And we'll find out more about that. But we also find out his goods, his bads and his ugly. Because the name he goes by is Big G. Now a lot of people are saying, Big G. I know Big G from Nasty Boys. But Big G was Big G Nasty Boys. And the thing I'd like to say as well, that Big G is not big anymore. So was that because of health reasons? So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to welcome the one and only Big G. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, what's happening, my brother? All
long
good.
time, bruv. Long time. But I can see you're still doing your thing.
Yeah, still doing my thing, still hanging in there.
But before it came to Big G, your name is... Tell everyone your name.
My name's Glenroy.
Glenroy.
Yeah.
Now, Glenroy, a.k.a. Big G. So Big G became a name, a household name. Because when his name was Glenroy and he was running around in West London, his name was not Big G. So let's just do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say Glenroy, a.k.a. Big G, this is all about your life. Now, Big G, come and tell us, you were born and bred in West London.
Harlesden. Yeah, which is actually northwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your upbringing like? Schooling? You're a good boy.
Well, I went to John Keeble Infants and Primary School, which is in the heart of Harlesden, Manor Park Road. As quite a lot of us did. And my secondary school, well, I've actually got two of those on record. Yeah, because I actually went to Bronsbury in Kilburn after that, which is located in Kilburn, as it says. But didn't survive too long there.
Why is that? Were you a bad boy?
And I'll be honest with you, after a couple of years, Bronsbury and Kilburn became too small for me, if that's for want of a better saying.
When you say too small for you, was it because of the way you was as a person? Were you a naughty boy?
Well, growing up in Harlesden, and a lot of people don't actually realise, when someone says Harlesden, Harlesden isn't just Harlesden. Harlesden comprises of Willesden, Kilburn, Neasden. It's a very big area, yeah. Stonebridge, it's all Harlesden, yeah. And you had to be tough, yeah, because the fittest of the fit survived. So you had to.
We're talking on street mentality.
Yeah, you had to be able to look after yourself, and that became apparent from the ages of 9, 10. You had to know how to look after yourself. Yeah, and that's.
Were you a bully?
Probably a little bit. Probably a little bit, if I be quite honest.
So it's people like you. Come on, I got to play devil's advocate here. It's people like you. Why our kids are not learning a lot?
No. You know what? When I went to school, it was very, very different. Yeah, people wanted to be your friend because if they was your friend, they were safe.
Yeah.
So it was from a different perspective.
So you had a protection racket?
Not a legal one, if you understand what I'm saying. Not a financial.
With the tuck shop?
Yeah. You know, give me a Mars bar, brother. You're sorted. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give me a Twix or some biscuits, custard creams, and you're nice. Yeah? Like, it was more that kind of level. It wasn't nothing, more harsher than that. And being in Harlesden and my second school when I got expelled from Bronsbury and Kilburn when they asked me to leave, was Aylstone, which coming out from a school of 300 pupils and going into the biggest school in Brent of 2,500 pupils, then it was really about the fittest of the fit can survive.
Right.
Yeah. And I came out pretty high ranking. Yeah. And I suppose that's where you start to make your marks and your personality starts to come into play, where you start thinking about what you want to do, what you don't want to do. Do I want to be a doctor? Do I want to be a gangster? Do I want to be a drug seller? Do I want to this? Do I want to that? Yeah. And growing up in my hood, if you were on the road, it all boiled down to drugs. Yeah.
Were you a drug dealer?
On a small, I'd say a small scale. I'll say that moderately. Yeah. on a small scale, but in my day it was just weed, it was just some green, you know what I mean? It wasn't the hard stuff, yeah? So I grew up smoking from the ages of like 12.
So how did mum and dad feel about you smoking? The first time you smoked your first spliff, did mum and dad sort of...
You must be joking, yeah? Like, my mum didn't know that I smoked officially until I was about 30 years old.
Right.
There's no way that was rolling.
So you did it behind the bike shed or something like that?
You know, and we had our little gang, and funny enough, one of the predominant names in my little gang at that time was DJ Legs. Yeah.
Well, he was one of your crew.
Yeah, man. We grew up like brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd stay at my house. I'd stay at his house. It was that sort of thing. He even had a front door key to my mum's house.
Right.
You know, and that's where we grew.
He was a part of the family.
He was a part of the family. Yeah.
Right.
But there was manners and respect still. Yeah. Because one thing that was very different then to now, you had to respect your elders. There wasn't even a compromise. Yeah, right. There wasn't even a compromise. Yeah. If one of your elders said to you, "Go to the shop and buy me some cigarettes," you would do it. Yeah. If you're like me and bright, you probably take out 2, yeah, and put in your pocket for yourself. Yeah. But you'd go and do it without no qualms whatsoever. You try to tell one of them youths nowadays, "Yeah, well, go to the shop and buy me some cigarettes." Are you mad? Man's going to tell you what you're boying off, man, and you're this and you're that. So it's
yeah, but you're the role model, though, aren't you? You should have taught them that. You know, I've got to play devs right here.
Well,
they're only learning off their peers. Am I right saying that?
One thing I would say for today's youth, yeah, today's youth respect the wrong things. Yeah, they see you driving a big ride and you got a decent, bit of jewelry on and blah blah. They've got a stereotype of you already. You're probably going to get through to them a lot more easier than the average Joe Bloggs because they're looking at you materialistically, which is not always the right way.
No.
Yeah, and coming from an area where I came from, sadly, a lot of my friends cracked out eventually. A lot of them went to prison. You know, the usual story. Some of them just got caught in the system, and some died. Some got killed. Yeah. But
so, G, before you go on, your life was rough then.
It was rough, but it was the norm. Yeah. People would say, "Boy, you come from Arsenal, Stonebridge, you're mad." But if you've grown up in something, it's the norm.
You're used to it.
You don't know any different. You know. I suppose my only big shock in my life was the transition to Brixton. Yeah. But for me, it was quite unique as well because my family came from Brixton.
Right.
Yeah. So I was visiting Brixton and places when I was like 11, 9. You know, guys like Lefty. Yeah, I've known Lefty since I was about 10 years old. Yeah. Guys like Booker T, I've watched them guys grow. Leroy, Studio One, these are all guys that I grew up with, spending the summer holidays and school holidays with my family in South. You know, and that was a very, very powerful mark in what I'd done later on because South London was like home to me.
So when you say as a younger boy you were learning too much at a young age, because already now you're not into work, you're more talking about, with what I'm hearing, you're talking about the street life.
It was street life. Yeah, work came secondary. I mean, don't get me wrong, when I left school I became an apprentice motor mechanic. Yeah, going to college and doing my block release and whatever, and after a couple of years I just decided, I don't really think I want that. £19.50 a week is not my thing. Yeah, so you start to look at options, you know, whether you like it or not. Remember, our parents were rich, our parents were poor. Yeah, so when you start deciding, I want a pair of Gola trainers as it was in them days, or Lightning trainers, well, you better go look work because your parents ain't buying that. The most you're going to get out of your parents is probably a Dunlop Flash if you're lucky. You understand? So there comes a time where you got to start, money becomes...
Did you grudge your family for that?
No, because they can do what they can do. They can't work miracles. But now's the time you got to go out there and try and find your road in. And hustling was the thing.
What was your biggest hustle?
Weed. Yeah, got no regrets, no qualms. I don't hide it. I've done that for years.
Did it get you a punk click?
I mean, put it this way, it gave me the things that I wanted to have and couldn't have, yeah? But I was very respectful with it, yeah? Now, like you said earlier on, Big G's not Big G no more, yeah? Right? Like Big G's like just under 18 stone.
Yeah, but that's not because you were a big lump back. I remember you when you were a big lump.
I was a very, very big guy.
Was it because of a health situation?
No.
You just decided to change your diet?
Do you know what it was, to tell you the truth? When I was approaching 47, 48, I had buried a whole lot of friends through one reason or the other. So you get to this stage of your life where you see 50 coming, yeah? You know, I can remember saying to my mum at one stage in my life, Mum, you're 50, you're old, you know. And when you start getting the reality check that 50's coming, you start to look in the mirror. And I started to think, well, you know what? I'm getting paranoid here now, and I don't want to die. You know, I became a hypochondriac, yeah? Because I was going to the doctor saying, listen, I want to check up, I want an MOT, I want the full works. And funny enough, in the English system, when you go to a doctor and say, look, I want a health check, they start deterring you. Nothing's wrong with you, you're fine, you're okay. No. I just want a check. And it came to the stage where, funny enough, I started to create things. I goes, okay, if you won't give me a check, next time I come here, I'm going to tell you that I had a backache, I had this ache, I had that pain, my heart was beating fast. And in the end, the doctor came round to my way of thinking.
Gave you an
MOT. And I had the full MOT, and then I more started to relax. But I was always comfortable how I was.
But before we get right into that, because obviously you were a mechanic and stuff, music came into your life as well.
Music was in my life from very, 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 very young. I can remember going to Music City in Harlesden. My first LP that I bought was Bagawaya. Yeah, I remember that dub LP, yeah? And I was very much into Augustus Pablo and Big U, yeah? So a lot of men think, oh, you're a soul DJ and blah, 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 blah. No. We never come from that, yeah? We come from reggae. That's where we come from, yeah? That was the in thing. We all waited for Tony Williams to give us our little 1 hour reggae time on a Sunday. That was
R.I.P.
Yeah? Rest in peace, my brother, because you made waves, you understand, yeah? So reggae was our main thing. Funny enough, me and DJ Legs, we followed Fat Man sound, yeah? And we used to go to Woodbury Downs.
Are we talking about Fat Man in Tottenham?
The original Fat Man in Tottenham.
Yeah.
We used to go Woodbury Downs, Nightingale. On a Sunday we go Club Norwich, yeah? And a little bit later on came the likes of Saxon. We followed Saxon as well, and Jam Down Rockers, yeah? And respect to Saxon, because they opened gateways that no other sound will ever do again.
Be able to do.
Yeah, never. Will never happen.
Yeah.
So I take off my hat and I salute these guys, yeah? But the crossover sort of came, I would say the crossover came in about the latter part of the 70s, about 79. Yeah, when we discovered the clubs like Crackers. Yeah, Friday afternoon.
That name comes up on everyone's lips.
Yeah. We discovered Global Village. We discovered Cheeky Pleats, 100 Club, Electric Ballroom. And we discovered soul music. Yeah? Now, bearing in mind that before that, the only tunes that really crossed over from the soul circuit, I could probably tell you a couple of them would be Key to the World was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah? And the other one was Mellow Mellow. Yeah?
Yeah.
Those were the two predominant tunes that were playing in reggae dances.
Yeah.
So hence, going to Crackers and, rest in peace, Paul Trouble Anderson.
Paul Trouble, yes.
Yeah. Because these guys were big in that kind of thing.
Yes.
We decided we were going to get our ears pierced and we're going to try,
House wasn't really there at that time.
No. It was nowhere. It was all like up front soul.
It was all front soul.
Yeah. You go and do a little dance and all the rest of it, yeah. So that was my sort of transition where I started to really look at soul.
But you did transition because on top of that, I don't know if it was the first, because I met you when you were a part of the big name called the Nasty Boys.
Nasty
Now, I don't
Boys
know
came-
if the Nasty Boys come later
Nasty
on.
Boys came way down in the line.
So you came into
Yeah.
the sound system
The
stuff.
sound system thing came by accident. Yeah, you know, I met up with Desi and Barry White. Yeah, and met up with the infamous, rest in peace again, Tony Nix,
R.I.P.
and decided, you know, we had a little negotiation. I'm going to manage Touch of Class. It was all an accident. It was an accident. Yeah.
Touch of Class was a big sound.
Was a big
you were
sound.
part. It was humongous.
Big.
Wasn't
And I
it?
mean,
Humongous.
Touch of Class at that time was like it reminded me of our West London counterpart, which was Special Edition at that time. Yeah. And they were doing these big house dances like all night long.
Which were the blues?
The original house dance.
Blues
yeah?
dances, yeah.
But the house dance has changed a lot since that time, yeah? Because in that time, for an example, you had an 8-room dance, yeah? If you weren't somebody, you was not even going to get into the room where the sound was, yeah? That was full of man that you don't really want to mingle with, unless you're in the know, yeah? And that's how it was for years. So the dances had characters. Now, Touch of Class sort of came about around about the time when we met Rez and Hussein, rest in peace, Hussein,
R.I.P.
yeah, who the people would know as Colosseum, but if you're an old timer, you'd know it when it was a Podium.
Podium, 9 Elms Lane, Vauxhall.
9 Elms, that's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was the only club that you could not get in there without a shirt on. Yeah, you couldn't get in there in a t-shirt, trainers, jeans. They weren't having it. And that was a very, very big impact in my life. Yeah. Another person another crew that I showed maximum respect to for that period was Chris Sweeney and RJS.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Roddy. Yeah. And rest in peace, Philip Edgar, because they were the original RJS. Yeah. Later to become Stretch and Sweet Boy Derek. Now, these guys were taking black people into places that we weren't really used to going to. Yeah, it was a brand.
Would you say respected?
Yes, you have to respect them because, you know.
No, I'm saying that the places where they brought you into,
you had to respect it because it was like going into a different life.
Royalty.
Yeah, you're coming out of a blues dance and getting into Podium. Yeah, it had to happen. Yeah, right. Going into a blues dance, you know, and then coming out and going to Podium or going to the Cumberland Hotel was like a complete
different world.
Yeah. Even the likes of Earl's Wine Bar.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah? You know, it was like, wow, this is like uppity, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're doing this. And so my eyes are kind of looking around and we're changing. Rez and Hussein have given me a legs of breaking Podium. You know, one of the biggest DJs, you know, people might not want to hear this, but I'm just going to be real. Yeah? One of the biggest DJs on our circuit of all times, and it's just fact, was Mystery.
Mystery.
Yeah?
He's been respected on all of my podcasts.
No, he was the guy. Yeah? Paul, don't let nobody tell you no different. He was the guy. Yeah? When we first started to book Mystery,
because you brought Mystery in, didn't you?
Yeah. We brought him into Podium from the blues dances.
Yeah.
Then from Podium onto Continental. Yeah. But he was doing his Ladies' Choice circuit. But when Paul was coming to a dance with like 20 cars behind him. So if your dance was empty before he came, by the time you got there, your dance was full.
Full jam,
Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to respect that factor, but he was the guy. Yeah. And the only thing that I'd say for Paul, yeah, I'll say openly, is his timekeeping was terrible. Yeah? Which later on in the circuit created the late night dances. Yeah? By accident. Because he was a high profile on a lot of the dances, but he wouldn't turn up till 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning.
And people would know that.
So people stopped coming early and started saying, I'm going to sleep first and I'll come out later on. Hence why the dances got later and later.
Yeah.
You know, but For me, my biggest influence has got to be Touch of Class. Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't know this. Even before Touch of Class, my first musical venture was with a guy called Mendoza. Yeah, from Brixton, and we had Phase One Radio. Yeah, Brixton Water Lane. That was my very first musical venture out of my own hood. Yeah. In my hood, it was still about reggae. There was sounds like Savannah, Black Roots. These are the guys that I grew up with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Savannah sound is now Stingray record label. Yeah. These are guys that, this is what I was in my side of the world, but coming out to South, I was venturing. Yeah. Touch of Class came about, and that, like I said, that was a very, 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 very big influence in my life. Yeah, I met up with Desi and Barry, and I give Desi his dues as well. Yeah, musically, he started to inspire me. Yeah, I'll give him his dues. Yeah, people might not like it, but I'll give the real dues. Yeah, I used to sit down in Desi's yard. The two of us sit down and we get a record and we play the record all day. Remember, you lift up the arm and pull it back. Yeah, and the record plays on repeat. Yeah, we done this. This is what we done, and then came the trend of going out and looking for music. I was not originally a DJ. I was more a promoter and a manager. Yeah,
because you've promoted quite a lot of things. You still do.
That was what my thing was.
Yeah.
But I liked the music. Yeah. And even from an MC point of view, you got to take off your hat to Barry White. Yeah. Because he was at that time in a class of his own. Yeah. There was nothing that could chat to him. Yeah. So these guys had a very, very big influence in my life. Yeah. You know, even discovering that, you know, this guy Tony Nicks that everyone talks about, and he's this and he's that and he's like, yeah, whatever. But this guy had a different side to him. Yeah, I knew him as an articulate guy, the artist, the carpenter. I knew him as a different side. Yeah, and Touch of Class, nobody can take it away as one of the biggest sounds out there. That's a fact. And they were in the era of the Funkadelics, Funky House, Funky Express. Yeah, that was their era. Nobody could talk to Touch of Class in that era. So now my footing in South has got even bigger. Yeah. Then came, I think, my biggest challenge between me and Legs. It was our biggest challenge of our whole entire life. The day that we met John Bostock, Continental Wine Bar, Wandsworth Road. Yeah. That's got to be the biggest challenge ever. But I said to Legs, we can do this. And Legs said, you sure? I said, yeah, I think we can do this, you know. And admittedly, my balls were bigger than me. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
You took a major risk.
Yeah, I took a major risk. Because this was a complete different level.
World.
It was a different world. Yeah. These are where the real rude boys were, yeah?
Yeah.
And you know what? It became an experience. It was open 7 days a week. And I think originally we took on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if I'm correct. My memory serves me correct. Yeah? And this is where I met a lot of the names, yeah? The names that some people go, no, I don't want to do them. Yeah? And discovered that there's two sides to these people. They've got their name and they've got their rep and whatever. But away from that, they've got a personality as well.
Nice people.
Yeah? But you have to get to that side of it first. And a lot of these guys, on meeting them, we had confrontations. Yeah? But like I said, my balls were bigger than me. Yeah? I would stand firm. Bearing in mind, at that time of my life, I'm wearing 40 ounces of jewellery and I weigh 28 stone. Yeah? Like, so...
Because you were known for the gold, weren't you? You were known... Big G was known for the gold. Because even when I met you, in later on time, when me and you did... we'd done Life FM and stuff. You know, you were swarmed in gold. Me, you, and...
That was a hood
and
thing.
Schumann.
And that was a hood thing, yeah? That was a hood thing. And you grow up in it, and when I look at it now, it's really funny. I would look at a youth now and go, bruv.
You still keep it?
Yeah. Nah, that's all history there. But I would look at a youth now and go, bruv, why you got so much gold on, bruv? I can
contradict it.
I can tell you what you're doing, but so imagine how I looked back in that day. But that's just was the in thing. Yeah. So Touch of Class was the in thing.
But when you say having the gold on, looking the pimp style, that you'd look intimidating as well. It was an intimidating thing.
It wasn't. It was just how it was. It was the norm. everybody wanted to get a chops, you know.
But you had to be a big man to wear it.
That's right. Yeah, because if you wasn't a big man to wear, somebody would take it away.
They'll just take it off.
Yeah, and I've seen that happen many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start off with a 1 ounce, and then you make a little money, and then you go and melt that down and get a 2 ounce. Everybody runs to Hatton Gardens, and then you go and get a 3 ounce, and then you get a 4 ounce, and then, you know, I can even remember in Harlesden at one time, there was a big bet on who's got the biggest chops in Harlesden. Now, I was a big guy, and eventually I worked up to a 10 ounce. Yeah. You know, we had to come and display ourselves and who's got the biggest one. But because I was the biggest guy, mine didn't look as big as theirs, but mine was actually bigger and heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the 2 guys in the making and were from West London were Trevor Matthews and Scarlett at that time. Yeah. But that's the norm. It was the in thing. That was what was going on then.
It's the fashion.
Yeah, it was the fashion. Yeah.
Now, like in the same times, if I can cut you, everybody used to get the gold teeth. And they used to get it on the NHS.
Yeah, because we used to get it free. I got mine free.
Yeah, you get it free.
Didn't cost a penny. Yeah, and funny enough, I ended up on the front page of the local papers over it as well. Funny enough, because the dentist got done later on in the years. Yeah, for fraud in the NHS. But anyway, that's another story. Yeah, but then you know a little scenario happened, and Barry White wasn't around, and Toucher Class was in the. Yeah, off balance, yeah? So, me and Legs had this idea, and we said, why don't we try and create the ultimate sound, yeah? Now, bearing in mind that Legs always wanted to be a selector, it wasn't my thing, that wasn't my thing, yeah? But that's what he wanted to do. I more wanted to organise and...
Put shows on.
Yeah, put shows on or whatever. So, you know, we held a meeting and we said, look, we're going to build the ultimate sound, and you might ask yourself, what was the ultimate sound? The ultimate sound in our eyes then was a sound that can play all by itself for the whole night. Yeah? Now, Desi G was undoubtedly on that circuit, you know, one of the best selectors. Yeah? Legs was up and coming now and getting his name. Yeah? So we decided, why don't we have a sound with 2 selectors and 2 mic men? And at that time, we decided Desi G, DJ Legs, 2 selectors. We decided Barry White and Jazzy J, Sean, yeah, as the 2 mic men. Now, at that time, Jazzy J was untouchable. No 2 ways about it. He was a singer. He sang. He had his own little style. Sean, funny enough, he's a Christian now. Sean was the original Jazzy J. Original. Yeah, anybody else for that circuit would know Sean. Yeah, he does photography now and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we had the ultimate sound. Now, let history go one bit further. We also met up with EastEnder as a younger. And I decided, well, you know, we're going to make EastEnder the apprentice of the sound. So he would warm up in the dances before the other selectors, before Desi and Legs start doing their thing. So that's where EastEnder got his ground training from. So although he might be younger than us somewhat, he done his basics.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying to you? A lot of people might not even know this.
Done his homework.
Yeah? You know, and I always give him the joke. Bruv, I used to drop you all the way home to Chingford, no matter where we played. Yeah? I used to always drop him home clear to Chingford, bruv, at that time. Yeah? And give him my share of the money.
Wow.
Yeah, because it wasn't about dough. We were all doing our own little thing.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing our own little thing, and in between that, I opened a phone shop in Harlesden. This is when mobile phones were like £2,000. We're talking about 1984, 5, you know? Like, so that was where I got distracted a little bit. So I was doing that as well. But alongside that, I met up with a couple of guys in the hood from Harlesden, and we decided, well, they decided actually, they want to do a radio station. Yeah? And they want me to run it. That was the makings of Irie FM.
Irie FM.
Yeah? And whether people know of it or don't, or those who know, Irie FM was one of the biggest stations of all times.
Yeah.
Yeah? Along with the Time radios and the Zach LWR.
LWR, yeah.
These were this was a big, I mean, look, Choice was legal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick Berry was like an elder to me. Yeah. These stations, these legal stations were swapping adverts with us.
Yeah.
That showed you the levels that we were on.
Yeah.
Irie FM done 7 years, and in 7 years, I think the station went up about twice. Yeah?
Yeah.
And even that was a bit
because of a respect element.
It was a respect element, and I had too much balls. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I said at one stage, I'm going to go to the police in housing. Everybody thought I was living insane. Yeah? This guy with 40 ounces of jewelry is going to walk in housing police station. Yeah, right, okay. But I did. And I went in there and asked to see the inspector, which at that time was Inspector Cutler, who I think he hasn't retired, he's now in Tottenham. That's the last time I saw him. Yeah? I said to him, listen, I've got 52 DJs on my station. That if they weren't playing music on my station, they'd be robbing and stealing and giving you pure stress. We want your assistance. And he goes to me, you got balls? I said, yeah. So he said, you know what? I like you, but I'm going to give you 3 things to do. And if you can do those 3 things, you got your wish. Remember, the DTI can't come out without the police?
Yeah, true.
Yeah?
True.
So Cutler said, look, there's a little old lady down the road that runs a community centre for the little kids. We want you to put a carnival on for them once a year. Get the truck and the float and the DJs playing music and take them to the park and entertain the kids. I goes, we can do that, no problem. Then he goes, I'm going to give you another thing that I want you to do. Yeah, and I goes, what's that then? And he said to me, I want you to make your studio like glass. So I goes, why? And he said, so the kids can come in after school if they want to come in, and if they want to be a DJ, they can come and see us DJing. And I thought,
good idea.
That's a good idea, I can work with that. Well, the third one was the one that made things a little bit shaky, because man's weed smoker and thing, yeah? We want the front door open at 74A High Street. We want the front door open so that if anything's wrong in the area, I can walk in. What? Say that again? He goes, none of my little boys weren't walking, I will walk in. I goes, well, explain what you mean. And he says, well, if a little kid goes missing, yeah, or someone's car's got stolen or something, I want to be able to walk in here and tell your guys to read it out over the ear. And I went, well, that ain't a bad thing. So we agreed.
So that's where community radio got involved.
Community radio got involved.
Right,
yeah?
right.
So we actually had the backings of the police, yeah, in that sense. So Irie FM was another one of my deterrent, that was the third. But Latest Edition was in the making. It was happening, it was doing its thing. But I'll be honest with you, looking back at it now, I can see the problems that that we encountered. I can see the problems were coming if I look back at it now.
Like
egos. You can't be a DJ if you ain't got an ego.
That's right.
Yeah, no DJ can be a DJ if you ain't got an ego.
100%.
Yeah? Some bigger than others, some smaller than others, but you have to have an ego. Yeah, not any tomfool can stand up and put his balls on the table and say, I'm doing my thing. It doesn't work like that. You've got to have ego. And the egos came out in the sound.
Clashes.
Yeah? They were clashes. Yeah? Now, by this time, my mind was drifting into business and whatever. And we amicably agreed, like, Latest Edition ain't for me, I'm off. Yeah? So I concentrated on the radio station, on my phone shop. But how did the Nasty Boys come about? So that's my second sound. How did the Nasty Boys come about? Well, I was obviously influenced by Desi with music and whatever, and now Legs, yeah. So the soul things, the rare grooves it's big in my mind, and I'm buying them, yeah. I got my dough, I'm buying my records. So what happened was, on Irie FM, I was doing a radio show, yeah, and I was the only DJ at that time. Remember, everybody was on the reggae scene and Lovers Rock scene. I was playing rare groove. And these guys couldn't understand, how come, boy, your phone is ringing like mad and your show's busy and blah, 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 blah. Now, Jerry, which was Nasty Rockers in the sound, yeah, he had a sound called Showcase. And he asked me one day, can I come on your show and do the show with you? And I goes to him, I don't know about that. And he goes, no, I'll play the party soul and you do the rare grooves and blah, blah. So I said, you know what? All right, yeah, let's have it. The show worked, yeah, and it was going. We started to do it every week. Now, the first person to spot the sound, I'll give him his dues again. There's another one, RJS Stretch. Stretch said, "Nah, man, you guys are bad." Because what happened was, where my phone shop was, there was a record importer that was bringing in all the soul imports, Jackie and Ron, yeah, a white couple, and they used to do the airport run once or twice a week and bring back all the imports. But here comes a joke. It was all coming out on CD. I ain't got a CD player. Yeah? We're not even on that. Yeah? But Ron used to go to me, just buy them, yeah, for £1 and £2, you know. Just buy them, yeah, you can't go wrong. So I started buying. I used to look at the sleeve and think, oh, they look all right. Turn it around, look, yeah, I'll buy that. Just buy them. So after a while, I had about 800 CDs without a CD player. And the only person at that time who I could relate to and talk to about CDs was Skanker Lewis, yeah. And Skanker was well into his CDs, yeah. And he was going, nah, man, carry on, don't stop, bruv, don't stop, carry on. I was going, all right then, cool. I can remember phoning up DJ Ali, Studio Express, and going, Ali, you need to get into these CDs, you know, because it's the in thing, what's going on right now. And I can remember Ali going to me, nah, man, I ain't buying that, bruv, it's going to get rusty, yeah? That was people's perception of CDs, yeah? So my collection started to build and build and build and build. So one day Stretch said, me and a guy called Sharky from Kilburn, we're having a house dance. We want you to play. I goes, me? Nah, bruv, I'm not on that. He goes, no, I want you and Nasty to play.
Well, anyway.
This is me and Nasty's first argument, by the way. I've had a record box. So I gave Nasty some money to go and buy me a record box. Yeah, so we could play, like we can walk in properly. Nasty bought me this record box where the handles are at the side. But
The big ones.
the handles at the side.
The big ones.
I felt like a prick, yeah? I felt like a prick, yeah?
And they were heavy.
And they were heavy, bro. It was my first argument, yeah? Anyway, played at the dance, and I can remember I took out some of them CDs, bruv, and I started to let it go in there. The dance tore down. So we were just Big G and Nasty Rockers. There's no other name. Then we decided later on we're going to form the Nasty Boys. And that's how the Nasty Boys came about.
They were very big. Nasty Boys was another big set that you had.
We repped West London.
You killed it.
Yeah? But it was really funny now. We were now getting too big for our own boots. Yeah? So even the likes of RJS and that tried to give us a fight because they're in our competition. And I can remember they'd be doing their big events, not booking us. So we decided we're going to start doing these little free drink dances in Linford Christie Stadium. It can hold 300 people, we're happy. Bruv, we started to jam it. Every time RJS had a dance, we had a dance in Linford Christie Stadium. Started to jam it. So of course, Christopher Sweeney, who's my old schoolmate as well, yeah, being a very bright guy that he is, said, you know what, these guys are getting on my nerves. Yeah? These guys are absolutely getting on my nerves. Yeah? So you know what, I'm going to start booking them. So hence he started booking us. And that's how we sort of broke out into that circuit.
All working together.
All working together. You understand?
But that's what it really should be about, really, isn't it?
But that's what it should be. But listen, the DJ business has got more politics than the Houses of Parliament, you know. Remember that, you know. And nobody's a millionaire.
100%.
Yeah? So that makes us quite dumb.
Yeah.
If you think about it, yeah? Nobody's a millionaire, but everybody's got belly over DJ.
But that's where it comes from, ego, isn't it?
Yeah, ego. But there are some other DJs that you got to take off your hat and salute them. Keithley, Lady J, Dubbug, Hector Selector, TC Fords. These were guys that were playing out their own promotion in Oasis, Shinolas,
And
ramming them every single week.
Yeah.
Non-stop. Now that's money.
Yeah.
Yeah? But they weren't the branded, as we would say. They weren't the branded DJs. They were their own little circuit. Yeah. You know? So a lot of people might say, Keithley? Yeah, Keithley. Lady J, female, yep. Dubbug, yep. TC Ford, yep.
Yeah.
These guys were making money. And Hector, they were making dough.
Yeah.
They never just came about because of the St. Lucia thing you hear about Hector Selector. No, that was about long time.
Yeah.
You understand? So, but you see, you got to remember as well, what used to happen in those days, we'd support one another. That's one thing we'd do. If you were having your dance, we're coming to your dance. Yeah? All right, we don't want to pay to come to your dance, so you're going to show us love and we're going to show you love back. Yeah? That used to happen. And it even extended because along that way came Jungle. Yeah? Jungle came first. Now, if I flip the script and go back a bit, I was always into alternative music as DJs. Not for me personally, but to support alternative DJs. When we had Phase 1, we had the great Fabio, Groove Rider, Woodhouse. I used to have to go and get Fabio out of his bed to come and do his radio show. Yeah? This is what we came from. So it was nothing new to us. It was nothing new. Yeah? So,
a lot of these men come from sound systems.
Yeah? Now, if you go into jungle, one of the biggest MCs in jungle was Moose. Moose 50 Navigator. Yeah? Moose comes from my hood. Well, he come from Wembley, in actual fact. Yeah? Moose was a reggae sound, Emotions. Yeah? A lot of men don't know that. The jungle thing came later on. Take off your hat to guys like Dirty Den. They were a little bit ahead of their time because of Kenny Ken and blah blah blah. They were playing garage jungle in the dance. We're thinking, what the bloody hell's that, bruv? Yeah. But 6 months later, we know about it. Yeah.
Everyone's jumping on.
So they were guys that were always risk takers. You know what I mean? You know, and these guys used to idolize, like Muslim used to idolize our raves. I'm looking at these guys making some real dough and thinking, wow. But they're idolizing our raves and leaving their raves when it finishes and coming to our dances. Yeah? And spending money in our dances. So it was a funny one. I saw it as one of the biggest misconceptions. Yeah? They looked at it as our thing as great, but they were the ones that were making the money. Yeah? You work out a sound business now. What do you get for playing out? 250? If? Yeah? What was you getting back then? 150?
150 quid. So you ain't changed.
It ain't really changed.
But 150 back in them days was a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah? Now, obviously, you know, because of the unforeseen COVID and that, it actually opened up this DJ, a lot of people's eyes to DJ. Online. Yeah? Because if you're a DJ and you ain't making no money, that means you're hungry. You better go and find a job. This is what's happened. Yeah? So a lot of it changed. But for me, music became in my blood, and, you know, I take off my hat to somebody, it might cause a little bit of a stir, but, you know, you had record collectors, you had your Victors, God Almighty, you had even Stein, System was a record collector, and Robert Zen Records. These were all guys that were in the know, But my respect goes to one person, because that person was there then, and that person is still there today, still supplying music, and that's Tony Heights. Yeah, he used to supply my Rare Groove along with Dirty Den, other guys like Cool Breeze, and other, you know, these were guys that were proper into their music. But Tony Heights has been there all the way into the slow jam era, all the way, and still current now.
So how does it make you feel when you've noticed you've opened the door for a hell of a lot of people, and the respect that you don't get for it as such? How does that make you feel of an individual where somebody would personally like to take the credits on their own merits, but without somebody like you? Because the game's all about links.
Yeah, it's
all about who you know.
Yeah,
that's all it's about.
If I tell you something, and this is, you know, as truthful as I can be, the respect that I got was more from the younger set of DJs. You know, like when we had Platinum Radio, which was another big station. Yeah. I had the likes of Chucky. Now Chucky's big. Yeah, Chucky Online, very big. MJ Invasion, MJ and Toddler, Pure Vibes, Dark and Deadly. These were the younger lot. Bad Andrew. These were the younger lot. But we gave them love and said, you know what, you're younger, but we're going to believe in you. These are the guys that see you and say, boy, uncle, Lady TT. These are you're their uncle till the day they die.
Because you open up.
Because you open up their eyes and they show you that respect. The guys in your own age sector, it's hard to give respect, love. They don't want to do it.
Is that because, again, as we say, the ego's too big to respect somebody?
The ego's too big, but they've come into the game at a time where they started opening their mouth or beating up their gums at a time when they can do it and get away with it. When dances were really dances, if you weren't nobody, you shut your mouth. Because if you didn't shut it, somebody would shut it for you. Yeah? All that's gone now. Anybody can be a promoter. Anybody can say I'm a D. Anybody can talk what they like. It's free for all now. Yeah? It wasn't like that. But you got to bear in mind, respect to the people out there that supported us over the years. We're in the tail end of this shit, bruv. In actual fact, when my parents was my age, that's what we're, bruv. Family, like, you know, church and like, you know, like, so we're kind of hanging in gracefully, you know. Yeah? Remember, if you go into the average blues dance, you will see people that are 60 plus drinking their bottle of brandy and giving it the large as they were doing how many years ago. That's the real world. That's how it is. But it's actually a dying scenario, and it's dying through a number of reasons: illness, death, family commitments, depression, people move away out of the area or immigrate. So it's dwindling down to what it was. Yeah, back in the day you could keep a dance in 4 areas, a big dance, and ram all 4 of them. You can't do that now. One, you can't get the venues, and a lot of time you can't get the venues.
Do you think with the venue, sorry to cut you, do you think with the venue situation of us not getting the venues, we got ourselves to blame?
Partly, yes. Yeah, as someone that had my own venue as well. Yeah,
because you've been a club owner as well.
Let me tell you something.
Who put you out of that business?
I took myself out of it because it was just too demanding, and you knew one day either you were going to kill somebody or they kill you. Yeah, man, when I come in, look, we as black people have a funny mentality, you know, bruv. Yeah, do you think you could sell chapati to an Indian?
No.
But Indian can sell us curry goat and rice and jerk chicken, and we'll buy it. Yeah, or some of us will buy it, should I say? Yeah. Our whole makeup is very, very wrong, you know.
Explain.
We will go into an Indian man's club and behave ourselves. Mr. Patel, my friend, yes, no problem, pay him his money, everything cool. Yeah, when can I get another booking? But they'll come into your club as a black man and turn up on a smoke weed and go on bad in the middle of your dance floor, you know. And when you come and say something, man want to fight you. This is how it's very, very different, and this is why we've never managed to really break away from this stigma. Yeah. Look, back in the day, Acapulco, yeah, Ali, they were Turkish, if I'm right. I'm getting it right. Turkish. Yeah. Look at Lefez, Jack. Yeah. All the clubs that man respected, but they wouldn't respect their own black man's club. Royal Lounge. Royal Lounge was a bit of a twister. Yeah. In the sense of it was owned by an Indian who handed it over to run to a black person. More probably a strategical business move, but it worked because the black man that he put in the place there put conditions on the club. It wasn't a free-for-all, and he weren't taking certain age groups. He's staying safe. The older raves and the older raves only. So that gave him the longevity. Yeah. But when I was doing, you know, the lounge in Hayes, some of my best nights when we made the most money were like the 30 to 35 year olds.
Yeah.
You could have 500 of our lot, bringing 250 of the 30 to 35 year old, and your bar spends 3 times more. The girls are buying bottles. It's very different. The girls are buying, but everyone's buying, but it's just the in thing. Yeah, when Ciroc came out, wow, like it was girls' paradise. They're all buying their bottles. Yeah. I'll say it again, we're at the tail end, and some people need to start respecting this. We're at the tail end. The average man of our age group who goes to a dance, or woman goes to a dance, is not going to spend £400-500 at the bar.
Never.
They're thinking about their mortgage,
100%.
the kids, what they got to buy for the kids, or the grandkids, what they got to do, or, you know, shopping. They're thinking of all these things first before they spend anything even near that. The younger youths, them, don't have that responsibility, a lot of them. They're still with mum or with dad or both parents, whatever.
They ain't got
to pay rent, they're alright, they're fine. They can afford to spend and then go back to mum and dad and say, boy, give me our money now, bruh. It's very, very different. One of the biggest scenarios that I tell the youth of today, you know, is when you're young, live your life. Yeah? When you're 16, bruv, and you're 15, you can't wait for your birthday to come because you're going to get a bag of presents and a whole uncle, auntie going to give you money and rare. When you come 18, bruv, the real world starts to set in, you know.
100%.
These presents that you used to get and all this money you used to get is probably the last time you're going to get it. Yeah? Now the tables turn. You got to start buying presents for the younger ones that are coming up behind
That's
you.
right, which are going to be your kids.
Which are going to be your kids. So it all changes. And these are like reality checks.
Yeah.
You know, I can say to everybody right now, you're in school. You've been institutionalized in the school system. So to get up, put on a uniform, go to school for like a working day and then come home with all your Holyper friends. The first day after your school ended, you were lost. Yeah?
100%.
Yeah,
All of us was.
Yeah, you woke up and thought, yeah, man, I'm ready. But hang on, what are you doing? There ain't no school.
You
There ain't no,
finished.
like what am I going to do? This is when reality sets
kicks
in. And I'm really sorry to say this, a lot of the people in our thing, the ones that have done their history and have done their basics, I salute them 101%. But the ones that don't want to respect the history and want to jump and fall out of the sky and think they can land on their 2 feet and start running up their mouth, I'll be the first one to tell them, go sit down. Yeah, you can't chat to me. You understand? And that's the real of it.
Have you had some big scuffs?
Not, do you know what? Not really, because I've always been known for a man that says how I feel. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Why should I? I'm too old for that shit now. I've got grown kids, everything. Why am I going to look in a man's face and smile with him and really want to tell him something else? Nah, I'll tell him.
Do you guide your kids? Are you a good role model?
I mean, my kids will probably have two points of view. Yeah? My daughters might say, boy, my dad's a bit protective, you know, bruv. But you know what? Why am I protective? Because I know where I'm coming from. I know
what the street is.
I know what the street is, yeah? So yes, I'm going to be overprotective. Even probably when they're 18, 19, 20, I'm still protective. They're my daughters, yeah? My sons have probably two opinions. One's going to be the pressure of being Big G's son.
Does he get that?
Which is a pressure when you're growing up, yeah? Do I want to be like my dad and I have to walk down that shoe, or do I want to be somebody different? So the pressure starts to set in, yeah? So I can understand that pressure. Or do I have to decide I want to be a DJ or a promoter? Do I have to?
Yes.
So I can see those pressures, but that's just me looking in and watching, yeah? But we've done what we've done, and we've done it for enjoyment. And one thing I can say for the street circuit compared to a lot of the other circuits, there weren't no killings.
No.
In our dances, it was everyone, like 1,000 people, 2,000 people, Tyson Street, Ruby Setum, 900, Ashwin Street, maybe 900 again, yeah? Like, bruv, you had the good, the bad and the damn ugly all under one roof.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah? The good, the bad and the ugly under one roof, and there was never a problem.
But let me ask you a question. Is there anything, if you could change the clocks around, if you could do, is there anything you feel you would have done better?
Alright, and I'm sure you will understand when I say this, and a lot of other people who are in the music game will understand, yeah? If music's in your system, it's in your system until you die, yeah? You'd probably be an old man drawing your pension and still listening to 2 Tune, and you probably will still
Even
be the
be
same
a radio
way,
DJ.
yeah? Or still be a DJ on the radio, yeah? It's something that's in you.
In your blood.
If I could have turned around and changed a few things, I would have probably worked on a lot of the younger DJs and given them more time than the old foot them. I'm being honest with you, yeah? Because the old foot forget very quickly.
They don't respect.
Forget very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So I would have probably given something back to the youths and help to bring them up. Yeah. And it's really strange. A lot of these youths idolize our way of sound business, which is really strange. Yeah. You know, you walk in, like, uncle, come check out my rave I'm got, and you think, I'll come, I'll show my face. And you walk in and they give you this big greeting and you're thinking like, wow. Like, boy, granddad's here, you know what I mean? Like, wow. Yeah, and they give you this salute and they're giving you the mic and saying, yeah, hold the mic. Because remember,
they looked up to you.
Yeah, as a selector, eventually, well, a promoter first, manager, selector, then I became the mic man, which that's another story, which happened in Lafez. And that was another complete, total accident. Yeah? Now, Jazzy J decided he's going to build a new sound with Devon from South. called the Hot Boys. So you got Nasty Boys and Hot Boys. Jazzy J's in with the Nasty Boys now, yeah? So it's me, Nasty, Jazzy J. Now, Devon's got a birthday dance. So on the bill, he's got Hot Boys first, Nasty Boys second, and Fifth Avenue after. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. So what are you going to tell me? Jazzy J is going to talk the mic for Hot Boys, then he's going to stay on the stage while me and Nasty as two lemons come and step up, yeah? And start doing our thing, and he's going to be chatting for us. So you a superhero? No, bruv, it ain't working this night. But here comes the... I can't use the word
you became a mic man.
I can't use the word that I want to use, but here come the mix-up in sound business, yeah? I'll put it that way. That night in that dance, you had M.A., you had Legs, you had all the Fifth Avenue lot, you had Desi, Barry, you had all the key players were
So
there.
it was a big time for you to embarrass yourself.
That's
basically.
right. So what happened? No, I said it wrong. It was Hot Boys, Fifth Avenue, then Nasty Boys. Then what happened was Fifth Avenue decided, as Raymond is, you know Raymond likes a little mix up too, my pal there, yeah? Right? We're gonna go missing. So they were all upstairs in the bar in Lefez, and they're saying, yeah,
So what you flop?
Fifth Avenue, your time to play, but they ain't coming. So you know what's going to happen next. They're going to say, right, the next sound up in line is Nasty Boys. Come and chat, yeah? And I'm going, look at this now, yeah, look, I can see it all. I'm going, look at this. I go, you know what, bruv, I'm going to dead for my sound. I don't care. I die. Listen, I die for this sound today. So we got on the stage. It was really hilarious, and remember Lefez, the stage is really high. Yeah. So when you're standing up on the stage, you're at head height, like your feet are at people's head.
Yeah.
In there's jam, bruv. And I got on the stage and Jazzy's going, yeah, you ready? And I'm going, what? And I'm saying, give me the mic. This is all behind the scenes, you know. Give me the mic. Who's gonna chat the mic, bruv? Just give me the mic. It got a little bit more. The words were a bit deeper than that.
Yeah. Give me the feedback.
It got deep. And we're pulling them, we're tugging them, we're pulling them, we're tugging them. We're kind of keep it discreet on the stage. I goes, brother, don't give me, I'll knock you out, you know, brother. Like, it's got that deep, yeah? So anyway, I've taken the mic. Now, I'm not gonna lie, yeah? And anybody who wants to say any different, say it, but I'm gonna say it as it is. I was shitting myself. Yeah? When I look round at the crowd, I was absolutely shitting myself. But I always remember DJ Leg saying to me back in the day, boy, gee, you could be a mic man, you know, you could do it, you know, brother. Yeah, you could do it. So I started remembering these things in my head. And Nasty goes, don't worry, just go on, brother, just go on. I didn't know what I was going to say, Pete. I didn't have the first clue. So I thought, you know what, let me say how I feel. Took the mic, and I remember I learned something from Barry White. We always said, if a sound plays well before you, or whatever, always stop the dance. Don't try and jump in their shoes. Stop the dance, talk for a couple of minutes, break it down and start it all over again. I remember all these things, yeah? So I said, Lord God, I could hear the crowd talking out, all the crowd are chatting, and I'm standing there, we ain't doing nothing. And I said, right, this is how I feel right now. You all know me. My name's Big G. Silence now, you know. At the front row is Pure Sound Man. You all know me, I'm Big G. The Nasty Boys is my sound. And I went, I can tell you something. I will live by my sound and I will die by my sound. You see when I said that?
The place erupted.
Brother, it's like I scored a goal in the World Cup now. Yeah? It's like I scored a goal in the World Cup, man's licking the wall, stamping the floor. Yeah, man. Backside, my foot stopped tremble now, yeah? My foot stopped tremble now, feeling like it's on now, bruv. And that was how I got into this mic.
You said a spirit just jumped inside you.
And it just happened from there. Yeah? And Nasty Moore became the selector and I became the mic man.
The mic man.
We separated company with Jazzy J and that was my job now. I'm the mic man. Yeah? And
well, you did, you know, because the sadness of it is that after a little while is that Nasty Boys folded up.
Well, we done 21 years. Yeah? Done 21.
Why did you fold up?
A couple of things to it, yeah. I mean, I can't lie, I'm going to be honest. Me and Nasty had this mental clash, yeah. And when I look at it now, you know, when you see all these big groups and whatever who are making all this dough and they're out there, one turns around and says, nah, I've had enough. And you think, why, bro? You're going to mash up a real good thing. I can understand. Egos, that word again. Yeah? I was always the more known person out of the sound. Yeah? For every one person that knew Nasty, 10 knew me. Yeah? So a lot of it, the sound was kind of on my head. Yeah? Very much like Company. Back in the day, if you said Company, you wouldn't say Dirty Den first. You'd say Roger Moore. But Roger Moore wasn't actually in the sound. Roger Moore was the character that was with the sound. Yeah. So that would give more of an understanding of what I'm talking about, yeah? And this became a problem, a very apparent problem with Nasty. Yeah? Now, bearing in mind now, we're playing out year after year, every week, sometimes 3 times for the week, sometimes 2 different places in one night. We've never begged nobody to play anywhere. We're just getting bookings, the phone's ringing. Nasty came from Shepherd's Bush, West London. I came from Harlesden, North West London. We actually done 3 years on the road without playing in our own area once. That'll give you an example.
That's a good achievement.
Yeah? We were just out there, non-stop out there, yeah? And like I said, the years went by, and before you knew it, you know, we were sitting on 20 years. Then unfortunately, on the 21st year now, we discovered that my mum's got dementia.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah? Now, here comes option time, yeah? This is my queen we're talking about, yeah? Like, boy, you're going to leave your queen in some home or whatever and carry on gallivanting and being a sound man?
Or you're going to look after
Or you're going to take up your responsibilities and look after the person that bring you into the world, yeah? And I decided, you know what?
It's not rocket science.
Yeah? No, but to some man it would be. It wouldn't be rocket science to some man. There's another option, yeah? But I decided that, you know what? It's got to be. And that was the life changer for me, yeah? I sat out of the circuit for about 5 years and it was just me and mum, yeah? And respect to my oldest boy who gave me the support, whatever he could give me, he helped me, yeah? So that's where my option came in, where sound business has now got to take a back seat. But obviously the politics of me and Nasty were in the frame as well. And I said, I'm not interested, they're never going to happen again, blah, 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 blah. Then came the younger generation again. In the 5th year of me being out of the sound business, came Courtney Margerson, which is now Strictly Sophisticated Promotions.
Yes.
Yeah? Now, strangely, a lot of people tried to get me and Nasty to play back together. And it might have even cost a bit of me and my friendship with Legs, because Legs tried it as well. And I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I said, no. If I'm ever going to go back and play the sound as Nasty Boys with Nasty, it's got to be beneficial to me.
Yes.
Otherwise, it ain't worth it. Why am I going to leave all the stress that I've been going through for the whole heap of years with my mother, bruv, to come and be an arsehole? Nah. Yeah? So, I decided, no. Courtney asked me once, 1 year, I said, nope. He asked me again the next year, I said, nope. The 3rd year he asked me, I said to him, by the way, you got an unusual surname. Who's your parents? And when he told me his parents, I goes, Jesus Christ, now look at that, bruv.
You're related.
Me and your dad used to go to crackers together. We used to rave as kids. Yeah, we used to move as kids. I go, you see? And I go to him, I'm going to tell you who your mum is, because I've known your mum equally as long as well. I said to him, you know what, Courtney? Life is funny.
And if you guys don't know who Courtney is, Courtney's the promoter, Strictly Sophisticated, started to bring a lot of artists
over to England, yeah? And I go to him, you know what, Courtney? Sometimes in life, we got to be real. I'm your uncle, bruv. I am your uncle. Look at it that way, yeah? I know you before you're born, yeah? So in life, sometimes the goodness of your parents, they might not reap it, but their kids can.
Yeah.
I goes to him, bruv, put Nasty Boys on the bill. Yeah? And he went, what? I said, put Nasty Boys on the bill. How much money you want? I goes, bruv, shut. I goes, yeah, little nephew, shut up. Don't talk about money to me. I said, put us on the bill. If you have to pay Nasty something, that's your business. I'm saying, forget me, bruv, I'll come and do it for you. That is how the sound relaunched, yeah? Now, for me, I was thinking, Rusty, you've forgotten, you ain't done it for a while, blah, 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 wow. But going back out there that night was almost like it's been there yesterday. It all just came back, yeah, and we done tremendously well. And the bookings came in again and we started to roll on again as Nasty Boys. But it wasn't
The same.
It wasn't the same because my mind was in a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah? My mind was in a very, very different place, yeah? And anyone who's experienced having to care for a parent and watch their parent going down,
It's not easy.
it's mind changing and life changing, yeah?
Yeah.
And you very quickly find out the difference between friends
And family.
and real friends, yeah? No, family's different, yeah? Friends, and real friends, you find out the differential, yeah? And respect to me, some of the people, or respect to these people, some of these people that phoned me out of the blue, bruv, and started showing me love, are people that I'm thinking, you just phoned me. But we weren't really like that. It was very surprising. You even mentioned one person, it was today, Darkman, who went through it with his mum and his dad.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah? And he used to phone me nearly every day. Yeah? Maxine from Hammersmith, I loved her. One day on Facebook sent me a message. Yeah? I'm going to give you a joke. The way the message came from, I thought, wow, it must be my lucky day. Yeah? Like, we got to talk. Really? Like, is it? Yeah, we got to talk. And I'm thinking, huh? We got something in common we have? Yeah, and I'm thinking, what's she talking about? We exchanged numbers on Facebook, and when she phoned me, she goes, I've been going through it for 10 years with my mum. I realised what she was on about, yeah? And she gave me a lot of inspiration as well. And
We're talking about inspiration, because I'll tell you something. One thing about Big G, he hasn't said half of the story, but
there's a lot.
Obviously,
we'll be here for a very long time.
But what I will say is that within life, you always have a good, bad, and an ugly.
Yeah, always.
So what is the good things about you in the music business, being a club owner, being a promoter, the people you've worked with? So what's been the
good things about me is that I've tried to be as fair as I possibly can. Yeah? You can never please everybody. Yeah, it's like DJing. You could play in a club with 1,000 people and 998 people are raving like the day, and 2 people are tapping you and going, play some soca or something stupid, yeah? Like, it happens, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm saying my good side is that I've been fair, or tried to be as fair as I can. I was never biased to anybody, because there's been some great DJs that have gone. Rest in peace, Junior Mac. Yeah?
Junior, yeah.
Another great DJ, yeah?
R.I.P.
Right? And I never looked at anybody as bigger or smaller. If you could do the job, you could do the job. Yeah? You know, look at the likes of Mike Anthony, Psycho, rest in peace as well,
Yeah,
Psycho.
R.I.P.
Yeah?
Psycho.
Rampage. We brought them into the dances on our circuit. Yeah? When they were in their own circuit. You know? So, I was always fair. I never judged anybody like that. The only thing, if you said the ugly would be, I would tell you on the mic, because, well, I can't say that here, right? Like, I'd go as far as if I really got belly with you and you really want to carry it there, I'd go as far as take a mic and tell you, and what, bruv? Yeah? That's probably the ugly side, but that's just the hood.
But we're not into the ugly now, because you just said
I've
the goods.
left, you know.
So, okay, so let's go into the bad side of the industry.
The bad side of the industry is just the bad-mindedness, bruv.
It's really funny because you say the bad-mindedness, and I get it on everybody.
It's the
who I do
bad-mindedness.
this podcast with.
But a lot of people won't say the real of it. Yeah? Do you know a lot of the time the bad-mindedness is girls? Do you know that?
Over girls?
A lot of it's not just girls, but that's a big part of it. Yeah? In the sense of, when I say girls, I'll say it in this sense, Peter. You might be Nasty Boys and you're playing out and you meet a bunch of girls and then it's kind of getting groovy and next thing you're on. But
So that sounds like more like, to me, it becomes jealousy.
it is bad mind. Jealousy is, yeah? And then this man feels, but hang on a minute, you girls come from South. What do you mean you're talking to them man, they're from West London, bruv?
And then it goes off.
Then it goes off, yeah? Or you might go and trod on a man's toes and you don't know. you've met this girl in East London, for example, and it's on. You being a man and thinking, yeah, she's all right, let's do this, it's on. Next
And
thing
then
you know,
find out
you find out,
yeah.
boy, that she was dealing with so and so, and you got politics there again. Yeah. So a lot of it was some real basic crap, and then a lot of the other side to it would be, boy, the man they play out every week, who they think they are, I'm better DJ than them, man. That was the other side of it. Yeah. But my answer to those people was, well, if you're so great, so how come you ain't doing it, bruv?
Because you're not getting booked.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But in all fairness, and you said it earlier on, it's not what you know as well, it's who you know. Yeah? And if a man knows, boy, Big G's got a good little following, and the man they sell ticket and rare. And one can't give nasty, and he was a very good ticket seller. Yeah? I weren't so great because I was a bit lazy, I'm doing other things, yeah? But he was very good. So people say, yeah, we book nasty boys, but the man they sell ticket and the end performance is good. Yeah? So hence, we get more work. A lot of the DJs that weren't getting work were the ones that had got attitude. Yeah? You can't be a hater. It's not nobody else's fault but your own, bruv. If you ain't made it, you ain't made it. It's like, back in the days of real sound business. If you saw the sound before you busting up the place, you tell them, go on, play 2 more, bruv. Go on. In this rat race now, when you've got your 45 minutes to play, you think the man could be tearing down the roof of the dance. A man said to him, yeah, last one. And then what's the man that's running him down to play last one do? Flop himself next. Yeah? And there was an old time saying back in the day, if you don't get it by 3 tunes, give up. Yeah? Give up. And if you remember right back in the day, a man would play a couple tunes and go, you know what, now carry on playing, go on, carry. I'll play after you. Because a man knows he ain't feeling it right, yeah? Bruv, I've watched man do it now where the sound before is taking the roof off. They've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and still can't get it. But they're going to do their 45 minutes and kill the whole dance. Yeah? These are the things that shouldn't, you're supposed to know in your mind. If you're having a bad day, you know you're having a bad day. You don't need nobody to tell you you're having a bad day. Yeah? A lot of these guys will have the bad day right for the whole 45 minutes and just give me my money. I'm ready. It's like run speed.
So how about the ugly?
I kind of touched on the ugly a little bit. I ain't taking no bullshit from nobody, bro. I'm sorry, brother. That's how I die. Yeah? I ain't having it. Gone too far, done too much. The things that we've done and the places that we've gone, enough people wouldn't even go there. You understand? The people that we've had to encounter, the people that we've had to deal with. A lot of people that just heard them names in passing and said, nah, man, not for me. We were in them people. They were around us. That was the ugly. Yeah? And if you weren't a particular caliber of person, you kept your mouth shut. When you saw certain man like the Big G's and the Desi's or whatever, like with the man and man them, you had to say, boy, the man they know all the man they raw like dread, you know what I mean? But we had that, it was a norm to us.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that have gone through this business, some not even DJs, but have had very influential impacts in the business. Yeah, rest in peace Cookie and Crippler. Yeah, they were two very, very, they weren't DJs, but they were two influential people in the dances and in the know. Yeah, I don't play the politics shit, yeah, but a lot of us have gone, brother. Rest in peace Fox. I don't care what anybody wants to have.
I love Fox.
Yeah, I'm saying it how it is, how I feel.
Boy,
who don't like what I say, I'm really sorry, bruv, yeah? But these are guys that I kind of watched them grow, you know what I mean? And, you took over light and you're doing your thing and you became After Dark with Christos and Roger Bailey and blah, blah. These were guys that were, like, every week, we're around, like, every week, yeah? So, even though there might have been internal politics, yeah, you still got to show your respects.
Respects, yeah.
You understand? One of the guys that I'm gonna salute again, another one, rest in peace Trevor Night Moves.
Oh, Trevor, yeah.
Yeah?
Well, he opened the doors for a lot of
He
people.
opened the doors to a lot of man that had never played in a club in the city. Never, ever, ever. Yeah? He opened the door, and I can remember Trevor and Grant said, "This is not the way you play night moves." Yeah, everyone's had that one. Yeah?
Trevor Russell.
Yeah?
He's talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not
R.I.P.
the way. When you come to night moves, you got to tone it down. I can remember it. Yeah? But if you could play in night moves, you could play anywhere, bruv.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people, if I've really, I can't remember everybody, yeah? And those who I've forgotten, Bob, I apologise, you know what I mean? But I can't remember everybody, yeah? But there's so many influential people, bruv. Bob, All Nations, yeah? Another one. I have to salute him, bruv. Rest in peace again.
R.I.P.
Yeah?
Bob. Yeah.
If you never went to All Nations, you never went nowhere, bruv.
No.
You never went, you couldn't chat to man, you ain't been nowhere.
That was worldwide.
That was worldwide.
Yeah.
The coaches were coming from Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, all over the place to come to All Nations. Yeah? So there's so many people along the way, yeah, that have given us, rest in peace, Clem, Granaries, yeah? Come on, bruv. Yeah. Like, a lot of men are going to say, ooh, these
Clem
are
was
people.
amazing.
These are people that
Amazing.
set the Grenadian Clem, set the trend in certain
R.I.P.
businesses.
Yeah.
Then he opened Ezekiel's in Peckham. Yeah? A lot of men have had their influences, yeah, along the way, yeah. But how much times do they get credit for it?
Yeah.
Not very often.
Not very
bruv.
often.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like I said, the story, we could go into depth and we could touch things that we don't really want to touch, yeah? So I'm going to keep it on a certain level. And,
you have to. You
and
have
just
to
go around
because
certain
we
things,
do
yeah?
come to a certain limit of time.
Ooh.
Now, I always like to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Name me your 5 top MCs.
Well, foundation would have to be Barry White because I was heavily influenced by him. So it'd have to be Barry White.
4 more.
In the later ranks coming up behind, because they came a little bit behind us, yeah. Hollywood,
2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great personality, lovely guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it starts to get sticky, you know. Yeah. It starts to get sticky.
It starts to get sticky.
Right, okay. Again, a few years behind us, but worked their way into the ranks to be up with us. Studio Express Dodd, you got to give him his dues.
Doddy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can't get a better warm-up. He can play in any position.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When there's one person in there, he can do his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah? I remember I'm influenced by all these people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah? So how many is that now?
You got 2 more.
2 more. Jesus, peace, you got me now, Ralph. I'll tell you the honest. The 2 people that I'm going to say, I've mentioned one. Yeah? Was Jazzy J.
Okay,
In the day, yeah.
That's 4.
And the 5th person, I don't even think, unless you come from South and know the runnings, there's a DJ that used to come and touch a class with us called Chris D. But he just wasn't, maybe his mind was on other things.
Yeah.
He just wasn't, it was like a laugh for him.
Yeah.
But he had it going on, and if he had pursued it, because it used to be Barry White and Chris D.
Yeah.
Yeah? So anybody who knows that history will know what I'm talking about. Yeah? But he just was not in the light. He was just him.
Yeah.
That's my 5. I couldn't
All right.
really.
I'm going to ask you now 5 sound systems or DJs.
All right. As a promoter, I'm not going to include Touch a Class because that was a part of me. I'm not going to
Yes.
include Nasty
Yes.
Words, that was a part
Yes.
of me. I'm not going to include Latest, it was a part of me. Yes?
Yes.
Right? Like, my first sound that I would say I rated them, and I still rate them, Andy Long and Steve, Mellow Primetime.
Mellow Primetime, yeah. Remember.
Why would you say, people ask me, well, why? I'm going to tell you why. They could make a dance start like a different kind of way. Yeah? and they were consistent. Yeah, consistent. Steve was mad and Andy had his own personality. They were like two gents. Yeah. I got to show love to Studio Express. I spent a lot of time with them, and I got to give them their dues. They've covered a lot of ground. They've got the experience under their belt. So I got to go Studio Express. I would have to show respect to Fifth Avenue because I believed in them at one time. I'd have to show respect to them as well. Fifth Avenue. Yeah. So we've gone 3.
Yep, you got 2 more.
So 2 more sounds. It's getting tighter and tighter here, you know. Lord of mercy. For the error, I'm coming here with no bias. I've got to give number 4 to Rampage. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because they came in on a different footing. Yeah? And my 5th sound, I've got to bring my reggae roots into it as well. Yeah? And do it a different kind of way. Yeah? I'd have to say, we tried him in the dances and he held his own. It was Alan Brando.
Alan Brando.
Yeah, he held his own.
That's your 5.
Yeah, that's my 5.
Right, I've got to ask you, because I know you're a busy man and I've took you out your busy schedule and I've really enjoyed this afternoon with you. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much Big G could be talking about right now that he could get into the sticky, the dirty and whatever, but it's not really about that. It's the good, it's the bad and the ugly. But I would like to ask you 2 things. One is, what do you think the answer is to the kids with the madness these days? Do you blame the older people or do you blame the kids themselves?
A lot of the kids' scenario right now is out of our hands. Yeah, it's more governmental issues. When we used to misbehave, your mother probably in a lot of families, the mother was more the authoritarian than the father.
Right.
My mother would have shot me a box. But when the government comes and tells you
can't smack your children,
you can't smack your children, now you have a serious problem. Because if you can't discipline your kids, who can? So hence you can see the trend. I will blame us in this scenario that we all had this plan, yeah, that we're going to grow our kids better than our parents grew us. We all had this plan. We all said it. So we're not going to give them Dunlop trainers with the elastic. No.
They'll throw it back at you.
From their 1 year old, I'm going to get them a pair of Nike, yeah, and a pair of Adidas, and put it on them. And we're going to go to the Next and get all their clothes, yeah, and you start getting them into this name brand field. But here comes scenario. What happens when they haven't got the funding now, when they get grown up to get all these name brand things? What happens? They got to go and take it somewhere.
They've got to go and teeth it.
Yeah? So that part I blame on us. Yeah? Also, we haven't got a community aspect anymore. I went to the Cubs, I went to the Scouts, I went to the Air Cadets. Yeah? You couldn't tell one of them kids now, you're going to the Cubs, you're having a laugh. But when you got PlayStation 5 and you're mad. And also, a lot of our hereditary things that we should have inherited, we haven't.
No.
And one of the biggest ones, you're going to piss yourself laughing here now, is what we know as trolley basket patrol. Yeah? When your mother's going out shopping on Saturday to go and buy the food for the house and you've got to pull the basket. These are things that the kids nowadays do not know. This is the respect, and where your mother sees your face screwing up with one next to you over the road and going, what's that all about? And then calling the mother over and going, hello, Miss Lady, what's going on? Yeah? We don't have that no more. Also, I'm going to say this one, which is you're going to think, well, not a strange one. The good old corner shop isn't there no more. The real good old corner shop who knows your mum,
the whole family.
He knows the whole family. He knows when you're misbehaving and coming and thinking you're like a rude boy, and he's going to tell mum, Miss Lady, your son was misbehaving. That's all gone. Yeah? As well as youth clubs. You'd have one leader looking after 40 kids in a youth club. Come on, bruv, try that now.
Ain't happening.
It ain't happening. Not even 5 of them.
Ain't happening.
It's not happening. So these are a lot of the things that have brought the breakaway, yeah, where the rebellion comes.
Yeah.
Look, you got to remember, yeah. Nowadays, a black child moves a certain way. Oh, he's on the spectrum. He's this. He's that. Remember, they got an answer for everything. They got a word for everything. Yeah, it's like blacks are intolerant and blah 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 blah. When I went to school, everybody drank milk. Yeah, think about it. In school, there wasn't no child that never drank milk when you get your free milk.
You get your free milk.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's a word and an excuse for everything in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah? And that's beyond all of our control.
So, Big G, you've done everything roughly that's needed to be done. Obviously, you're very, you're a big businessman. You've had a nightclub. You've put the promotions on. You've brought a lot of people into the game. You know, is there anything that you feel to yourself you haven't done that you would like to achieve before you hang your gloves up? You're getting on, son. You're nearly 60.
Get out of it, bro. I'm moving like a young. I'm moving well young. By the way, not really. The ground that I covered, along with other people, not just me on my own. Yeah, collectively at different periods of time. That can never happen again. That can never, ever happen again. Yeah? I can remember doing dances at Tyson Street with 5 security and 2,000 people inside. That could never, ever happen again. No way in the world. And that's when promoting was promoting. It wasn't just about put advert on the radio and hope people come, or you had Facebook and social networking to promote your dances.
That was never there.
That's not how we done dances.
No.
We used to have to map out 6 weeks and spend Friday, Saturday on the road.
3 o'clock in the
outside
morning,
the clubs. Yeah, Brixton during the day, Roman Road Market, East Street Market. Bruv, it was a norm. You had to be on the road. It was like a job. You put 6 weeks in to get your result. Yeah? But my favourite time in all of this, I would say, here goes another one. Rest in peace, Michael Rennie. Yeah?
R.I.P.
The weekenders, my birthday outings, and the RJS holidays have got to be, I think, probably the most memorable times. Yeah? Where you actually discovered that once you stick somebody on a coach or put them on a plane, their whole personality changes. Yeah? And we done the whole of Spain, Tenerife, Malaga, Portugal, the whole shebang with RJS. We done quite a lot of the weekenders with Mikey and Richie. Yeah? And my birthdays, the Margates, the Great Yarmouth, the Wales, the this, the that, yeah? Like, those are my most memorable times when you see people enjoying themselves at their best. Yeah? So for me, if anything sticks out in my mind, those are the events that stick out in my mind.
Well, I'll tell you what sticks out in my mind as well, because you are also, in your relaxing time from, of course, your business, you also still run a radio station.
Yeah.
You have your own radio station. It's called Inting Radio.
Yeah.
What made you to still dabble into doing radio?
Do you know what? I suppose it was more just on my part of just keeping it close to me somehow. Yeah? Although I've gone into this radio station with a complete different emphasis. It's not about money, it's not about this, it's not about that, it's just about me. Yeah?
So doing a radio station, do you agree that the internet radio is the major thing right now?
Well, it is, because, bruv, I'm not going on no tower block roof and put up no transmitter. I ain't doing them things now. Them days are done, bruv.
Do you think FM is still there? Or do you think it's coming to the end?
It's coming to the end because people have so much different means and ways of listening now.
Yeah.
So it's coming, it's fading out. The FM will always roll, but it's just, you're a pirate radio station, bruv. Right? No man come and teeth your £300 transmitter and you, nah, ain't got no time for that. Yeah? You want to go and get gun and go and kill, man? No.
And you still have the same respect on online radio?
Of course. Yeah? Because when people are in their house, the average person's got a laptop or a tablet or a computer, or they got their phone. And whether people realise it or not, the mobile phone is probably the most powerful tool in the world.
Yes.
Anything you don't know, you ask your phone, it will tell you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So it's got to be the way forward, and we've had to adjust ourselves to this. Yeah. It's like when COVID came about, this brand new wave of social media DJs. Yeah. I've been social media live streaming for 5 years, over 5 years. But when the COVID came and people couldn't play music to anybody no more, they had to go and jump on the bandwagon.
Yes. Yes.
But like anything else, it's for some people and it's not for others.
Yes.
Yeah. But
That's because they're not used to it.
that's right. But the good thing about it is, it also high profiled a few DJs who weren't even in the know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you start saying, yeah, man, it's a good little DJ, or yeah, man, playing some tune, they're doing their thing. Because social media, remember, you got to be real. It's an art.
Yeah.
Yeah? If you got matter in your eye, you got to try and clean it out, style it. You got to try and clean it out without nobody noticing. Yeah, like you can't have boogie in your nose. You got to be on it. You have to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. Yeah, or if you're doing it in your bedroom, you can't be showing like dirty underpants and whatever in the back. Like it's
I hate that.
Yeah, it's a lot more in depth than people think.
A lot.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I'm going on the radio to do a social media show, bro. I'm going in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm putting an aftershave. It's only me in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm putting an aftershave. I'm shaving everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different.
It's a different.
It's
thing.
a different thing.
Well, it's like TV, isn't it?
It's like TV, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of think that the COVID scenario has opened up the gateway to a lot of up and coming DJs,
100%.
or a lot of DJs that weren't recognised.
And it's opened up a lot of doors to this internet radio.
That's
as well.
right. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what's opened up the door. It's opened up the door that, I've known you for many years. Me and you, people don't get it twisted. It was Big G, I will say Jeff Schumann, and myself that made Life FM,
then
Bang
Radio, which is now
we
Beat,
made that
which
station.
is now Beat. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. We made that station. It was us that changed that station. Don't get.
But did we get any recognition for it?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. But that's life, isn't it?
But we made that station. No one else can come, because before we went there, no one would even touch it. But anyway, cut a long story short, I like to appreciate everybody I interview. And I'd like to say, Big G, it's more than my pleasure just to be allowed to present you with a little gift from the industry street. Because where we go, we always get taught. Do you remember them sayings, which I know is very... Well, to me, it's like you would know these words. When you go to somebody's house, you don't go empty-handed.
That's right. Yeah.
So I can't go empty-handed. He's treated me to dinner today, and I'd like to present you with this and say, Big G,
respect,
this is all about your life.
Respect, bro. Thank you very much. Yeah. But
if you can just look at it, G, and tell everybody what it says on there.
Let me have a look here.
And you can push that out. What does it say?
The Industry Street presents Big G for your contribution to the music industry. Respect, my brother.
There you go. That's for Big G.
Yeah, and my kind of closing words that I want to say is, in the music industry, I want to say respect to all those that had an influence in my life. Yeah, and all those that worked with me along the way. Those who are past, those who are present, those who are still here, and those who are no longer here. Yeah. Every piece meant something to me. Yeah, and I will never ever forget. And that's sort of my closing bit.
That's
and
Big G.
Respect to the public that's supported us for many years. Yeah. Without them, there would be no us. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, my brother.
There you go. That's Big G. Next week we've got another banger for you. So that's Big G. This has been all about his life. It could all be about your life next when I come to you. So from the industry street, Big G. Peace.
Peace, brother.